First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this copyright text. Move this text block over. Select the top text, TE for text. This is going to be the left front. Change the size. First thing I need to do is to make sure that all these green lines are intersected here. I don't like this here, so I'm going to move it up to here. I'm not quite thrilled with that one either. Then I'm going to angle this one a little bit differently. Now let's go ahead and intersect up here, here to here, here to here, down here, down here, and down here. This line needs to be broken at each of these green lines. I'm going to intersect this line to here, and this line to here. This line also needs to be broken at each of these green lines. First thing I'm going to do is close this dart up into here. So I'm going to select this, the bottom leg and the top leg, or the center leg. And then I'm going to manually rotate. Here's the pivot point at the bust apex, and align that lower dart leg with the upper. I can delete these. I can delete that and that one. Intersect down here and intersect here. Now I can get rid of these two. Now we're going to start our slash and pivots. We're going to do this one first. This is the pivot point. Here's where we're going to open it up at. I want to select everything below it. Not the green line marker though. I want to leave that alone. One inch counterclockwise. And that opened that up. Let's do this one next. We do have to break this line at that point. Here's the pivot point. Here's the other end. I'm selecting it and everything below it. Except the grain line. 1 inch counterclockwise. And that opened that up. So now we need to draw an arc. We'll get the grain line marker out of the way. I want to measure from here to here, 1/2 inch. Let's put a specification in. 1/2 inch. 1 inch. Three-quarters of an inch. 1 inch. One inch. And 1/4 inch. Okay, we need to draw an arc down here. We can go ahead and get rid of these, because the green lines will give us an anchor point for the arc. So draw an arc, right click, and we'll right click here. Okay, so I need 1/2 inch from here get rid of this. I need 3/4 of an inch from here. I can get rid of this one. Now I can take this one out because this line didn't change. I can take this one out because this is the same line. Now we need to do slash and pivots up here, so let's just go ahead and make sure everything is intersected. This line needs to be broken apart. Let's intersect here to here. Intersect here to here. And now we can break this apart at the green lines. Okay, so we already spread this apart, so we can get rid of these green lines. So now we're going to do slash and pivots still. We're going to be doing this one clockwise because we want to open it up from here. Slash and pivot. Here's our pivot line, pivot point. Everything above it. One inch clockwise. Wrong. Let's break this apart. Slash and pivot. Pivot point. Opening. everything above it. One inch clockwise. Okay. The next one is this line. There's our pivot point. There's our opening. That line and everything above it. One inch clockwise. And then this is the last one. Pivot point. One inch clockwise. You can go ahead and get rid of all these. Not the green lines. Let's just get rid of these. Arc from here to here. Anchor it at one of these green lines. Now we can get rid of the green lines. And this point B needs to be a quarter of an inch away. And we'll move it out of the way, and then do a point, quarter inch. Move this back to here. All right, so that's all done. Now let's go ahead and change all this to our stitching lines. I'm going to change everything to my standard color and line widths. Okay, we can get rid of the center dart leg now. Move this out of the way. I do want to come in here and draw an arc. If I select all these, it's 4.3. So let me go ahead and just change those so I can see them. Draw an arc. The arc is 4.3, so then I can get rid of all these purple lines. And then we'll change this back. Get rid of this point. Change this back to the stitching line. Now, this is the gathering area, so what I want to do is to change my line style to a dash dot dash. I'm going to offset it by an 8 here and here. I'm going to put text in, TE. Drag around and select it and then do a manual rotation. Just right click and put it where you want it. This is gathering 2, so we're going to text TE. Select, manual rotation, right click, position it. I can get rid of this. Now let's put our cutting lines in. I like a 5/8. Oops. Change our line style back to a solid line. And then 5/8. Just hit your space bar to repeat the command. Was an extra one. And then we're going to draw some lines from here to here, here to here, here to here, and then we're going to intersect from here to here. Draw another line up here, intersect this, okay, that's all done. Group it. Now we're going to come over to the left side. Get rid of the copyright text. Actually, we did the left side, so this is the right front. Need to break apart these lines at the green lines. Let's do some intersecting first. Again, break it in at the green lines. Okay, the first thing we want to do is to close this dart up and open it up into here. So once again, I'm taking the lower dart leg and the middle, I'm taking this and all of that. Manual rotation, right click at your pivot point, match up the lower dart leg to the upper, close it off. I lost my H. Manual rotation. That can go away, and these two can go away. This can go away, and that can go away, and this can be intersected down here, and that to that. Move this out of the way. I want to put this one we don't need because it's on the other side, so I'm going to put a specification SK from here to here, 1 inch, and from here to here, 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to draw an arc from this point to this point. I'm going to meet it down on this center dart leg. Locate a point 1 inch. Get rid of that. I can get rid of this. Locate a point 1/2 inch. All right. So I can get rid of these 3. I can go ahead and get rid of that, but before I do, I'm going to bring this over. Then I can get rid of that because that's still the bust apex. Next thing we need to do is to pivot, slash and pivot these lines, and I'm going to start with this one. This is the pivot point. This is where we want to open it up. I'm going to select this line and everything above it, including my notches. And the A. I don't need to collect D because it's on the other side. 1, and I want it to be counterclockwise, so that's opening that up. Second one, pivot point, into the pivot point, select everything above it. I will select the center front too. Don't need to select that because it's below it. 1 inch counterclockwise. This is the next one. Right click, select. 1 inch counterclockwise, and then we do the last one. Pivot point. One inch counterclockwise. So now I'm going to put a specification from here to here, 1 inch, and from here to here, also 1 inch. So I can get rid of these lines. And draw an arc from this point to this point, anchor it somewhere at the end of one of these green lines. Need to locate a point 1 inch. Get rid of this. And move this down to here. Get rid of these extras. I can get rid of this, this. This needs a 0.1 inch. I can get rid of this. And that's pretty much on the mark. And then I can get rid of this. This is the gathering arc, so I'm going to change this to my dash dot dash line. Offset it 1/8 of an inch. And offset down here. And then we're going to come in here, text, manual rotation, same down here. Manual rotation. Now we need to change these outer lines to our stitching line. You know what? I'm going to delete that, delete that, delete that, and intersect here to here, and then go on selecting my lines. This needs an arc. Change this back to the solid line, arc, right click, and even that's not right. I need these to be that thick pink line. This one didn't change. Now let's do our arc. right click, somewhere in here. Get rid of the pink lines. .3, okay. Now, since we have a thick line, I'm going to just change everything to our thin dashed line in black. All right. Now we can add our seam allowances, which I prefer at 5/8 of an inch. Double click, space bar, double click, space bar, double click. Continue on. Draw a line. You can tell when these would come up to a really sharp point that you need a line. And then we can intersect the rest of these. All right, let's get rid of that. Put our A back up here. And there's that. Group it. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.